The Sardinia Cup was one of those regatta that you will remember forever. Sometimes a little also scary.
It's a tough competition.
It has been full on from the beginning to the end.
The Sardinia Cup is not an event I've done before. For it to be reinstated now is actually really cool, and to be at the first event that they're running is, we're very fortunate to have that opportunity. It's the second time we've raced this boat.
First time Sardinia Cup, we did the Max Sea Worlds last year on a different boat. The TP52 is close to the top of the band for the Admiral's Cup for that class, and that's why we chose this boat. We arrived only kind of 6 weeks ago. We did Palma and then came here straight out the box. It's been very exciting.
The offshore race, it looks like that will be a windy one.
In Sardinia, Porto Cervo, one of our favourite places to race, and I think there's really solid momentum behind these team events. The RAM team has been around now for nearly 20 years. We're a strong team, good history here, and the Jolt team has come out of the Sorcha teams, very, very strong. They won the Admiral's Cup last year with a 52 and a 40, and it just worked really well for us to team up on this one.
The Sardinia Cup, similar to the Admiral's Cup, you're in teams of two. The sort of bigger boat and smaller boat. It's kind of a race in your class, but then actually it's a team event as well.
First time we've raced against really, really strong competition where we've got Jolt here, who is sort of the winners of the Admiral's Cup. They're very much a very well progressed boat down the design path. We see them as a real benchmark for what the boat probably will need to sort of migrate towards over time.
It's a tough competition. We had a tough offshore race.
We unfortunately had to retire from the offshore race, which is a big penalty because it's a double point race and you can't discard it.
It's always been a part of the Sardinia Cup that you have this element of having to take your boat offshore, and in these modern boats that's tough. We've got a fantastic boat, and sailing around, day sailing, it's very, very good, but we had a tough offshore race here. It wasn't very long as it turned out, but certainly very difficult and very demanding on the people and very demanding on the equipment.
We had quite a windy offshore race, 30 plus knots in a very difficult sea state, so that was more of a race of boat preservation, looking after the equipment, making sure you get around the racetrack without breaking anything. A lot of water over the deck, a lot of water inside the boat.
I tell you, it was obviously sometimes a little also scary,
but I think we managed that quite well. I think we were second in that race, and double points race to the offshore race.
Fantastic off the start with the reach and then going on to the run. We set up with the A6. There was a couple of bad waves and we suddenly hit one of them quite hard. Other than that, we were pretty strong on that leg.
We just finished the offshore race. It has been full on from the beginning till the end. The boat is in one piece, the sails are in one piece, so far so good.
These boats are very, very technical beasts. There's a lot going on from the bottom of the keel to the top of the mast, and everything has to be right. And we know when we go to north that the mast and the sails work very well together. The reliability and the knowledge that we know we're going to instantly be close to being on the pace.
We've worked with North Sails for a long time, maybe 15 years, something like that. We wanted to be able to reef for this event, so we took an offshore main. With the two reefs, we had to get a new boom to enable us to do that. So Southern's produced the boom, and we put the reefs on the offshore main.
So we got 3DI Raw 900 light jib, which we got new for this event, along with the 3DI Raw 880 mainsail. The rest of the inventory is pretty much what came with the boat. There hasn't been too much new because it only arrived a month or so ago.
For this event, we've got a bigger mainsail with some more area just to try and improve the balance of the boat and the upwind performance of the boat.
The Wallyrocket performed very well since the beginning, and obviously all the other boats try now to copy what we did, I think.
It's one of the first experience with the Wallyrocket in this new configuration. It's a new configuration that should allow us to build up experience to look forward heading at Admiral's Cup next year. This kind of boat has a very high performance if you are able to pick up the proper sails in the inventory, but for specific true wind angles. For each 10-degree true wind angle, you have a specific sails, and you are not as good to choose the proper sail inventory to carry on board, you risk to have the boat underperforming quite a lot. It's tricky because the only tools you have to make a sail selection way in advance is the weather forecast. If you cannot trust on it, it becomes even more a problem.
There's no two races here that are probably the same. There's always some variation, and today we had a coastal course which was about a 30-odd mile race. The challenge with it always is you're going around all these little islands, and the way the wind channels down between the islands, the wind, trying to predict the wind shift or what wind direction you're going to have, and there's geographical features that are impacting the race course all of the time.
You need to have a clear idea about the wind shift, about where positioning the boat. The tactician needs to have this kind of quality, I think, and at the same time I think the tactician needs to understand what he can ask and what he cannot ask, because obviously there are a lot of maneuver that if you are calling for something impossible for the crew to realize, then it's even worse. It's better don't ask, you know?
Being a tactician, you're trying to simplify it for the crew, for the owner, and just in your head as well, because it's really easy to make it too complicated where actually you've just got to get a good start.
We had a nice start. We sort of had a very good battle early on with Jolt. We managed to sort of take advantage of one wind shift sort of on the upwind and managed to jump out to a nice little lead, which we extended for quite a while. It was a beautiful course. It was just like a long upwind downwind really, with a bit of reaching in the middle, and it's just perfect sailing for a 52-footer.
What's the secret of keeping it so fast?
Well, there's no many secrets. It's a new team, it's a new boat, and we're all learning. And surely the boat is a good platform, but we're learning every day. And surely we have a good team, and we want to keep pushing and get better every day.
We're on the final day of the Land Rover Sardinia Cup. It's a coastal race, so non-discardable. It's going to be a very different day, light winds, with quite a tricky kind of southerly transition. It's been a really, really positive week for us on INO Veritas.
INO is doing very well in our division, and Django, in the second division, I think that the battle is really tight.
Obviously there is one team that is performing a little better than us right now, but if you know the kind of character that we have, we will push up to the end.
Focus is just to stay close to Django, and we've got a nice cushion in terms of points. So just go out, do our process as normal, right? And that's worked for us so far. So we hold on to the process and look forward to a great day on the water.
We could still win the Sardinia Cup going into the final day, the final race. So I think we're in a good position and ready to attack at any given opportunity. There's been an evolution of the Wallyrockets between boat number 1 we sailed last year in the Admiral's Cup, and this is boat number 4, the 4th in the construction series of the Wallyrockets. There's been some modifications to the water ballast, which I think boat number 1 has also incorporated. But this boat we've tried to optimise more for the IRC rating rule. We've gone for a stiffer rigging for the given diameter, and changed from the lenticular, the aerofoil shape, to the round shape, just because the lenticular shape gets badly penalised under ORC.
Trying to learn and understand the IRC rule and how that works, and how the boats are managed has been really, really interesting. It's a great process because the rule seems to push for high performing boats. I think that's a huge plus for what we do, and it really rewards good preparation, for sure good crew work, and then the way the boat's sort of put together, all the development you do with the rig, the sails and everything else. So there's lots of different areas that you can try and exploit performance, and so it makes it a very good all-round challenge for all the teams.
I hope you had a fantastic week of sailing. We had interesting conditions, finishing off a very light day today.
And now, the special trophy, the historical special trophy. The winner is INO Veritas, James Neville and Sardinia Cup 2 bar per volley. Come on guys, make some noise. This is Sardinia Cup trophy.
We'd like to say we've had an amazing week of sailing. You have the most incredible playground here. And to think, we came here for a light airs, low-key regatta, right? And what have you thrown at us? We have had a top week. Thank you to everybody in the club. All the organising has been terrific. All the people we raced against, it's been tough competition. Everybody, it's tough to get here. Everyone's worked so hard. We look forward to seeing you again next year in Cowes for the Admiral's Cup. It's a team event. It's all about the team. Thank you, Bert.
I feel so happy and so proud that the team did such a fantastic job. Also, we are very lucky to have James and INO team, also fantastic. This is a win for two teams working together. It's a really special moment, actually.
It's his first real regatta with a boat, so it's been fantastic. The whole focus at the moment is sort of building towards the Admiral's Cup in July 27, and this being the first event, it was a great learning experience and sort of understanding the boat, and then we'll go to Cowes Week, where again we'll sail against a number of other competitors, and then obviously look to develop and progress for next year.
At the end, all the teams was able to have a nice regatta, and we will have a lot of stories to speak in the next years, because it was one of those regatta that you will remember forever.